Hello my crafty friends, it's Beverly here over at Crafting Chaos, and I'm here to show you how to put together the card that I showed you how to make the file for last time. Now I've made a different one because obviously I've already made a hexagon, and because it's for a male I felt like the circle was better, so I've made a circle one. So first of all I'm going to start by scoring my score lines. So I'm just going to score. I've already done my colouring in so the video doesn't get too long, and I've just coloured in using Dreamy's watercolour pencils, and I've also added in places a little bit of this Spectrum Noir sparkle. It's a bit like Wink Castella in a jar, so obviously it's going to last for ages, and I just bought 3 of those because you can turn any colour you want then sparkly. So I'm just scoring the card so that you can see what we're doing. So obviously the score lines are put in for you by the Scan and Cut, so you just have to make sure that you score them properly on the card. Now we're going to attach this long one to this one and this one to the white one. Okay, so the white one is going to attach here like so. So I'm just going to put some fairly strong tape on these seams, if you will. So I'm just going to go along with my tape so that I make sure I get a good bond. I just trim it off so I get a nice neat edge with the scissors and give it a good burnish down and peel up the backing paper if I can get hold of it with my short nails. Desperately in need of a manicure. So that's that. So this is the plain one that we're going to set on to this one. So all I'm going to do is just open it up, and I'm going to line this one up with the perforations, or if you will the score line, as neatly as I can, so that it's up to the score lines but not crossing them, so that it still folds nicely like so. So that's that part. Okay, so get a little bit of dirt on my mat somewhere along the line. So that's that part like so. Now this part gets attached to the front part of this, and then this part gets attached here. So I'm just going to open that out. Again, put some tape on. So this is the not quite as strong as I don't think red line tape, but it's definitely stronger than finger lift. So again I'm just trimming that off so I get a nice edge, and we're going to stick this down momentarily. So like I said, we've got this white piece goes on here, that forms the front of the card, leave that out to there. This part attaches to here like so, and then this part that we're doing now attaches to here. So I'll show you when it's attached and then you can see what we're doing. So again, I'll just turn that round there. Just let me just bear with while I get this right now, because I want the textured side facing out. So that's that way. So that needs to go on there. So just pull off the tape if I can. I'll try my little knife, see if I can get it going better with that and my fingernails. Excuse my nails, I am awaiting a manicure. So let's just double check we're right again. So that's the front. This attaches with the patterns, well it's not pattern, sort of linen side facing out, and then this one, whoops, attaches to this one here like so. Okay, so all we're going to do is just attach that to that. So again, line it up with your scoring edge and stick it down. So this is where we're at. So now we'll look at it as you'll see it in your card. So this one goes this way around and it's going to be attached there. This one bends round like so, so it folds flat like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just colour that so it's not as stark white on the side. Okay, so that's where we're up to. So now we need to attach this piece to that piece. So all I'm going to do is put some glue. Use my tape runner for this because it's going to get plenty. So I'm going right round the edges and the perimeter, like so. Oh, and then we're going to attach this to that, like so. So again, we need to line these up, circles up, so that they're perfectly lined on top of each other. So when you're happy, stick it down like so. Okay, so that's the card base. So what happens, you're going to put your first greeting in there on this back piece here. So this is my have a monster birthday, is going to go in back there. So on the back piece, and then when you open, it slides this one across, and that's where the monster's going to be. So what I'm going to do, just roughly and very gently, I'm just going to put, so I know exactly where to stick my pieces, I'm going to trace around this circle here, being careful not to press on, like so. And then I'm going to open the card again so I can see where my greeting needs to go on this side here. So again, just tracing around carefully in purple. So it's this back piece, if you will, that is where your greeting's going to go. Now I've made my circles a little bit bigger, just so that I can see what it actually looks like, and I can position from the front till I'm happy, like so. Okay, now just so that I've got some wiggle room, I'm going to use some Collal glue for that one. And these I've just put in the scan and cut and put a circle that's slightly bigger than the hole around it. So now I can shove that shut, adjust it so that I'm happy with it in the middle. And that's, oh, if that happens, I've just moved the whole thing. That's the beauty of the Collal, but it can also cause a disaster like that. So again, just shutting it down, making sure I'm happy with the position of the greeting in the window, like so. So that's that one down, and I'm just going to make sure that it stays down. Right, so that's the front of the card. Okay, I am just going to take a pen and go along that afterwards. I'll show you later. So now, on the front of my card, I've got this one is going to be what is the have the monster birthday. So when you open, this one slides into position like so. So that one's going to go on here like so. So again, open it up so you can see what you're doing, and we'll just position this one. We don't want it to go over the crease, so we're going to close it up, see where we're at, like so, and I think that's okay. So I'm just going to, again with the Collal, stick it into position, and remember that gives us the ability to be able to move and see where we're at, and I think that's okay as it is. So I'm just going to pick it up again now, because this is when it gets a little bit confusing. Trying to get it right now, back how is it meant to be. So there we are. So when we open, the piece slides in, and there's our thing. Once you've slid it a few times, it's fine. You just need to get used to the mechanism sliding. So that's our greeting, and there's the front. So on the front of the card, I wanted to put this little monster, but I'm going to dress him up with a little flying saucer coming up like this, maybe. But before we do that, I'm going to open the card, opening it flat so that I can actually stick in my pieces that I've got for this. I've got this one for this side. So I showed you how to make the lining for in the card, like so. and this one is going here like so. So again with the collal, just so that it gives us a little bit of manoeuvre time, I'm going to stick this into position on the card so that it's got a nice lining inside. And again, this was just cut on the scan and cut in the same way as I did the others, and this time, because we're using circles, I'm using circle paper just to echo that, if you will. So this is just dressing the card up now, really, just the mechanism's made. We're just actually jazzing it up a little bit now. So I've just got those. Okay, so now back to where we were before. Let's get everything back where it should be, and then we're going to add some gold apertures around our, just to make it pop. So we've got some nice shiny gold. So I'm just going to use my bookbinding glue for this. So we do need all different kinds of glues, don't we, when we're crafting? So I like to try and use the one that I think is going to work best for each project. So I'm just going to, I've run a bead of glue around that, and I'm just positioning it on the card. Okay, so that we've got a nice circle. And I'm just going to press that down with my trusty rag. So that's our first one down. So then I need another one in this one to frame that one. So I'm going to get my second one, and again just around the edge. So just take your time, no rush. Oh, because you do things like drop everything and it just makes everything even more difficult. So I'm just adding a bead of glue around that one, and again positioning it on the card like so. So that's that one in position, and I've got a third one for this side here if you want. It's entirely up to you. I'm not sure if I'm putting that one on just yet. I'm going to start from there. So now I want to put some sort of fun circles to echo the front of the card, the inside of the card. So I'm just going to, I think, overlap, just positioning them till I feel I've got them in a nice position. And I think I'm just going to stick that one down with the collal, and I'm going to, I think I might put that one circling that one, maybe. This is all just dressing up. Like I said, this is your own preference and your own, whatever you decide stamp wise or image wise, if you're going to use toppers, what you're going to put in. So obviously I like using my stamps, but that stamps are not for everyone. But I didn't do this using I stamped them using my stamping platform, and I think I'm just going to have this one here, but I'm going to pop this one up. So I'm just going to cut myself a couple of pieces of foam tape. Oops. Stick that on the middle, and we'll have another piece here, just because in case we want to get it in the mail, like so. So just want it to be a little bit fun, because it's a fun interactive card. So I'll give it a little bit of added dimension by having the circles on. I'm going to put this little fellow, I think I'm going to just cut one in half so that you can see like he's always on the, so I'm going to cut this one in half, or just less than a half. So I saved all the little bits that I had. So I'm just going to cut myself a slither so I can ground him out, if you will, with my knife. Just do that again, I've not gone quite through. That's it. So then I can put this one on here. In fact, I think I might wave it out a bit so that it looks like a planet surface with the scissors. So that's that one. I'm going to put some glue on there. Obviously wet glue is better to stick to glitter, so I'll do it that way. So there's my little planet. I'm going to stand him on here, just gives him a bit of relief from the background. Although I think I might use the blue one. Yeah, I think I might go with the blue one for this one. So again, I'm going to pop up the monster on a bit of foam tape. So again, giving that extra dimension. I'm sorry if my voice is still going a little bit in and out. I'm still out for whatever reason. I think I'm going to put that there. So I'm just going to, again, pop the little planet up that I've die cut. Actually, I haven't die cut them, I've actually stamped them and then put them in my scan and cut. I'm not quite sure where to put this now. Maybe I'll go up this bit. I might just actually sneak it in there, like so. And then, so we've got our greeting. I cut some little stars out whilst we were at it because so I thought I could use these to embellish the front, different size stars. So again, I'm just going to put some stars randomly on the front. So again, I think I've got another little one here. Smaller one. I seem to have mislaid some. I think some might still be in my pot. Okay, so that's the front. Yeah, so I've got some things in there. Them out, and I've got a bit more to go at. Get these out of the way. And I think I'll have the little rocket coming towards the planet and the solar system where the little monster is. So again, removing the foam tape, we'll have the rocket heading in to their orbit. So the circle gives that idea of the planets. That's why I chose circles, but obviously you can choose whichever you prefer. So now we've got our monster inside. So I just thought it'd be fun if we just maybe, again, I've got a little bit here, nice straight line at the bottom there. So again, I could come in, make a little bit of a background for him to stand on. So I could do that there, stick it there, like so. And then I'm going to have the little guy stood here and this one coming in like so. So we'll do that now. So sticking the ground down. And once you've got mastered how to actually create the file, you can make the aperture any way you choose. Now I'm going to keep these fairly flat because it does have to fold. So I'm just going to do these with the glue. Put that there. And the little guy going here. So it's a bit like that one from Monsters Inc., that one, funnily enough. So then I've got another couple of stars which I can use just to jazz this bit up if I want. So I'm going to put some of these on. As I've cut them out, I might as well use them. So I'm just going to put some stars in the sky. And I've got some really tiny ones here, so they'll be nice. I'll use one of those on the front as well. So that one can go there. And this one. Oops, I'm a bit mad with the glue there. There we go. So let's have a look. I'll get that glue so I don't want it to spread and stick to my page down. I'm just pushing them down with my thing. So just be careful because you don't want to glue your card shut. So now I'm going to just put one of these little dinky ones on the front as well. So maybe go with that one here. Okay. And then I think I might just pop that one up, just having a corner. So this bit, obviously decoration is personal choice, but I I wanted it to be quite fun. So like so. So now, let's see where we're at. Just going to get a blue pen just to darken. I'm just going to get an alcohol pen just to go down the side of that card there so that it doesn't irritate me showing white. So it won't hide it completely, but it will disguise it somewhat. So I've got my alcohol pen and I'll just go over that. A darker line there. Just doing it with my chisel, so darkening the card out a little bit at the edge, but I don't mind that. And that is obviously going to dry a bit lighter once the alcohol ink is dry. So this is the peekaboo card. Just get the glue sorted so that I've got a few bits and pieces left. So I'll put them in my bits and pieces jar from the last card, because you know, till I challenge myself to use some of my bits and make some random cards. So that's the second one. So if we open it out, there's our, not wanting to quite fold that one. I think it's just, there we go. I think it's just catching on something on the, I think it's catching on that actually. So maybe if we just smooth it that way a bit, that'll help. So you've got to just play with these a little bit. So now that's working better because it was catching on the where the seam is on the inside. So if you get your catch like it is, just work out where it's catching and take it from there. So that's the message. Have a monster birthday. And I've glittered that. I don't know if you can actually see that that's actually glittered. And there's the monster in the sky. So there's the two cards together. This one's a bit more jungle theme. It's your birthday, go bananas with the guy like on safari, and see how I've echoed that kind of a shape. It's different, that's a hexagon, this is an octagon, but you can see how it echoes the shape there. This one, because it was more planets, I wanted to go with a circle so that it tied in with the circles for the planets, if you will. So that's the two cards. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial on how to put the cards together. So that's your peekaboo, and like I said, remember you can make that once you've mastered the actual technique to make the card. You could indeed add whatever aperture you wish. I'm just deciding I want a bit more things dotted around just to give it that sparkle. So I'm just putting some random glue dots down. I'm going to use some of my little sticky gems to get my little triangles so I don't get them everywhere. I can use my pick up tool. Just going to put some of these sparkles on just to give it a bit more oomph, because I feel like the night sky should have a little bit more sky, a bit more sparkle. So I'm just going to add some more gems. I've flicked one somewhere, there we go. Using my trusty cheap pick up tool, even though I do have one of those with the like, it's a bit like blue tack that's sticking out, but the blue tack always seems to get either it's not picking up so it doesn't drop, it doesn't pick them up, or it's that I'm going to need another one there and maybe one there just to balance things out a bit. So I think you're either, it's all or nothing with that one. Either pick it up that well you can't put them down, or it doesn't pick them up. So I'm not best impressed with that tool, if you will. So I've always tried the other things, but I tend to revert back to my little pencil crayon sticky up picky up tool. And these are ideal for little gems and things that are working, and they're really cheap. Just got them from Amazon. If anybody were thinking about what that is, it's just so that I don't end up with gems scattered all over the table, and I can actually get them back in the little pot afterwards. So that's the two cards. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. If you have, please remember to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye now.